Today I'm going to read aloud to you George's Marvellous Medicine by Roald Dahl, illustrated by Quentin. These are the characters in the story: George, Mr. Cranky, Mrs. Cranky, and Grandma. Warning to readers: do not try yourself to make George's Marvellous Medicine yourselves at home. It could be dangerous. Chapter 1. Grandma. I'm going shopping in the village, George's mother said to George on Saturday morning. So be a good boy and don't get up to any mischief. This was a silly thing to say to a small boy at any time. It immediately made him wonder what sort of mischief he might get up to. And don't forget to give Grandma her medicine at 11 o'clock, the mother said. Then she went, closing the back door behind her. Grandma, who was dozing in her chair by the window, opened one wicked little eye and said, Now you hear your mother, George! Don't forget my medicine! No, Grandma. And just try to behave yourself, or Francois is away. Yes, Grandma. George was bored to tears. He didn't have a brother or a sister. His father was a farmer, and the farm they lived was miles away from anywhere. So there was never any children to play with. He was so tired of staring at pigs and chickens and cows and sheep. He was especially tired of having to live in the same house as that grisly old ruin of a grandma. Looking after her all by himself was hardly the most exciting way to spend a Saturday morning. You can make me a nice cup of tea for a start, Grandma said to George. That'll keep you out of mischief for a few minutes. Yes, Grandma. George couldn't help disliking Grandma. She was a selfish, grumpy old woman. She had pale brown teeth and a small puckered up mouth like a dog's bottom. How much sugar in your tea today, Grandma? 1 spoon, she said, and no milk. Most grandmothers are lovely, kind, helpful old ladies. But not this one. He spent all day and every day sitting in her chair by the window, and she was always complaining, grousing, grouching, grumbling, gripping about something or the other. Never once, even on her best days, had she smiled at George and said, Phil, how are you this morning, George? Or, why don't you and I have more game of snakes and ladders? Or, how was school today? She didn't seem to care about any other people, only about herself. She was a miserable old grouch. George went into the kitchen and made Grandma a cup of tea with a tea bag. He put 1 spoon of sugar in it and no milk. He stirred the sugar well and carried the cup into the living room. Grandma sipped the tea. Blech! It's not sweet enough, she said. Put more sugar in. George took the cup back to the kitchen and added another spoonful of sugar. He stirred it again and carried it carefully to Grandma. Where's the saucer? She said. I won't have cup without a saucer. George fetched her a saucer. And what about a teaspoon, if you please? I've stirred it for you, Grandma. I've stirred it very well. I'll stir my own tea. Thank you very much, she said. Fetch me a teaspoon. George fetched her a teaspoon. When George's mother or father were at home, Grandma never ordered George about like this. It was only when she had him on her own that she began treating him badly. You know what's the matter with you? The old woman said, staring at George over the rim of the teacup with those bright, wicked little eyes. You're growing too fast. Boys who grow too fast become stupid and lazy. But I can't help it if I'm growing fast, Grandma, George said. Of course you can, she snapped. Growing is a nasty, childish habit. But we have to grow, Grandma. If we didn't grow, we'll never be grown-ups. Rubbish, boy, rubbish, she said. Look at me. Am I growing? Certainly not. But you did once, Grandma. Only very little, the woman answered. I gave up growing when I was only extremely small. along with all the other nasty careless habits like laziness and disobedience and greed and sloppiness and untidiness and stupidity. You haven't given up any of these things, have you? I'm only a little boy, Grandma. You're 8 years old, she snorted. That's all enough to know better. If you don't stop growing now, it will be late. Too late for what, Grandma? It's ridiculous, she went on. You're nearly as tall as me already. Dot took a good look at Grandma. She certainly was a very tiny person. Her legs were so short that she had to have a footsole to put her leg on, and only her head only came halfway up the back of the armchair. Daddy says it's fine for a man to be tall, Dot said. Don't listen to your daddy, Grandma said. Listen to me. But how do I stop growing? Dot said. Eat less chocolate, Grandma said. Does chocolate make you grow? It makes you grow the wrong way, she snapped. Up instead of down. Grandma sipped some tea, but never took her eyes from the little boy who always stood before her. Never go up, she said. Always down. Yes, Grandma. And stop eating chocolate. Eat cabbage instead. Cabbage? Oh no, I don't eat cabbage, Grandma, Dot said. It's not what you like or don't you like, Grandma snapped. It's what's good for you that counts. From now on, you must eat cabbage 3 times a day. Mountains of it. And if it's got caterpillar in it, so much the better. Ouch, Dot said. Caterpillars give you brains, the old woman said. Mommy washes them down the sink, Dot said. Mommy's as stupid as you are, Grandma said. Cabbage doesn't taste anything with a few boiled caterpillars in it. Slugs too. Not slugs, Dot cried out. I couldn't eat slugs. Whenever I see a live slug on a piece of lettuce, Grandma said, I gobble it up so quick before it crawls away. Delicious. Delicious, she said again. Worms and slugs and beetly bugs. You don't know what's good for you. I was joking, Grandma. I never joke, he said. Beetles are perhaps the best of all. They go crunch. Grandma, that's beastly, the old hag grinned, showing those pale teeth. Sometimes, if you're lucky, she said, you might got a beetle inside the stem of stick of celery. That's what I like. Grandma, how could you? You find all sorts of nice things in the sticks of raw celery, the old woman went on. Sometimes it's earwigs. I don't want to hear about it, cried Dot. A big fat earwig is very tasty, Grandma said, licking her lips. But you gotta be very quick, my dear. When you put one of those in your mouth, it has a pair of sharp nippers on its back end. And if so, it grabs your tongue with those. It'll never let go. So you gotta bite the earwig first. Tap before it bites you. Dot started edging towards the door. He wanted to get far away as possible from this filthy old woman. You are trying to get away from me, aren't you? She said, pointing a finger straight at Dot's face. You are trying to get away from Grandma. Little Dot stood by the door, staring at the old hag in the chair. She stared back at him. Could it be, Dot wondered, that she was a witch? He had always thought witches were only in fairy tales, but now he was not so sure. Come closer to me, little boy, she said, beckoning him to come with a horny finger. Come closer to me, and I will tell you secrets. Dot didn't move. Grandma didn't move either. I know great many secrets, she said, and suddenly she smiled. It was a thin, icy smile. This kind of a snake might do just before it bites you. Come over to Grandma, and she'll whisper secrets to you. Dot took a step backwards, edging closer to the door. You mustn't be frightened of your old Grandma, she said, smiling that icy smile. Dot took another step backwards. Some of us, she said, All at once, he was leaning forward in her chair and whispering in a throaty sort of voice Todd had never heard her use before. "Some of us," he said, "have magic powers that can twist the creatures of the earth into wondrous shapes." A tingle of electricity, a tingle of electricity flashed down the length of Todd's spine. He began to feel frightened. "Some of us," the old woman went on, "have fire on our tongues and sparks in our bellies, and have wizardry in the tips of our fingers. Some of us know secrets that would make your hair stand up on your end and make your eyes pop out of their sockets." Todd wanted to run away, but his feet seemed stuck to the floor. "We know how to make your nails drop off and the teeth grow out of your fingers instead." Todd began to tremble. It was her face that frightened him most of all the frosty smile with the brilliant unblinking eyes. "We know how you wake up in the how you wake up in the morning with a long tail coming out from behind you." "Grandma!" he cried out. "Stop! We know secrets, my dear, about dark places where dark things live and squirm and slither all over each other." Todd made a dive for the door. "It doesn't matter how far you run," he heard her saying. You won't ever get away." Todd ran to the kitchen, slamming the door behind him. Okay, this was the first chapter of George and the Marvelous Medicine. Thank you.